Good afternoon. This is a special coverage of the coronavirus crisis using the combined forces of News 5 and Signal TV's One News, Radio 5, and 1PH. The militant labor group Kilusang Mayo Uno has taken their traditional Labor Day protest online. The group insists that the Duterte administration has left the country more vulnerable not only to COVID-19 but also to other labor issues. The online protest was done through the video conference app Zoom. In a speech before online protesters, KMU Secretary General Jerome Adonis warned that a prolonged lockdown may result to retrenchment in some sectors as employers strive to cut expenses. Adonis also condemned what he called militarization of government's COVID-19 response. The group conducted a 30-second noise barrage and burned an effigy of the president, similar to past actions in Mendiola. President Duterte assures workers that the government will continue to uphold their rights. In his Labor Day message, the president says the government is committed to protect the rights of workers through the humanization of law and equalization of social forces. The president reminds the business sector to help him improve the lives of their workers by giving them stable career opportunities and humane working conditions. The Interior Department has ordered the creation of OFW desks to assist repatriates returning to their hometowns. The agency wants regional offices to set up special desks dedicated to answering the concerns of OFWs on quarantine and other health matters. The move comes after reports of discrimination against migrant workers who have been repatriated from virus-stricken countries. Some overseas workers were reportedly barred from entering their communities and from seeking quarantine in the nearest available facilities. Several agencies have already set up a one-stop shop in NAIA to assist OFWs required to undergo a 2-week quarantine in government-provided isolation facilities. The DILG says at least 8,000 OFWs have returned to the country. It is not just COVID-19 that people are worried about during this pandemic. Psychiatrists remind the public to take care of their mental health, as everybody can be vulnerable to mental health problems. Dale Rivera with the story.
For someone who's used to living alone since entering college, Russell Batoy was not spared from the changes in lifestyle brought by the enhanced community quarantine. He was stranded in his dorm in Manila, trying to survive the COVID-19 crisis alone. But it is not just the health crisis that he is dealing with. Russell has been diagnosed with a major depressive disorder, a mental health condition that affects one's mood and behavior. Russell says coping with the so-called new normal is already hard for him, and going through a pandemic alone worsens his condition. Hospitals rejected him since his condition is not deemed as urgent. It also doesn't help Russell that he has massive schoolwork to finish before the academic year ends.
Everything, sir, feels like parang it's pulling me back to doing those school activities instead of worrying about. Hindi ko naman sinasabi na dapat ma-experience nila yon, pero I think in situations like this, even if sometimes you don't understand, I think a little kindness and compassion towards other people.
Psychiatrist Jerome Go insists that mental health problems should not take a backseat in the current health crisis. He explained that people who have been previously diagnosed with mental health conditions are more vulnerable to a relapse as the world shifts to a new paradigm.
Kung kaya ngayon, kailangan alam ng mga pasyente, yung mga dating kahit hindi pa na-diagnose, na ang anxiety ay nagmumula sa mga sitwasyon na hindi natin kontrolado.
Go also explains that everyone is vulnerable to mental health problems during the pandemic, even those who feel normal at this point.
The COVID-19 crisis has taken its toll on people, and the stress it brings takes them to a different perspective, that one where it is barely recognized by many. And while everyone is fighting this crisis, another part of the world is also hoping to see better days ahead, a future where mental health will also be given a priority.
For now, Go advises everyone to have a strong support system during this time.
Kaya't napakahalaga na manatili tayong konektado sa mga tao, no? Sa mga kaibigan natin, sa pamilya natin, para alam nila kung meron tayong mga hindi napupuna sa sarili natin at sila ang pwedeng magtulong para magsabi sa atin. Sila yung magdadala sa ating kamuwang, no? Yung bring to our attention na merong ganitong mga nagbago sa atin.
For News 5, Dale De Vera, we're One News.
We will pause for a short break. Our special coverage on the COVID-19 pandemic will be right back. Welcome back. You're still watching the special coverage of the coronavirus crisis using the combined forces of News 5 and Signal TV's One News, Radyo 5, and 1PH. Marikina City's own testing laboratory begins conducting swab tests after finally getting the green light from the Department of Health for its operations. Greg Gregorio joins us to tell us more. Greg, paano diskarte ng Marikina LGU sa swab tests?
Bok, sinimula na nga ngayon ng Marikina LGU ang pagsasagawa ng mga swab tests para sa mga specimen na ipoproseso mismo ng kanilang molecular diagnostic laboratory para sa COVID-19 testing. Dati kasi yung mga specimen na nakukuha dito sa Marikina ay ipinadadala pa sa Research Institute for Tropical Medicine o RITM, Lung Center of the Philippines o di kaya naman ay sa iba pang partner laboratories ng Marikina. Katunayan, kanina lang ay dinala na rin doon sa Marikina Laboratory yung unang specimen na isasailalim nga nila sa COVID-19 testing. Ayon kay Marikina Mayor Marcelino Teodoro, 600 to 800 individuals ang target nilang maswab hanggang sa mga susunod na araw. Parte daw ang bilang na ito ng kanilang binuong link map mula sa isinagawang contact tracing ng mga nakasalumuhan ng COVID-19 positives sa kanilang lungsod. Kabilang dito ang mga unang natukoy na persons under investigation at persons under monitoring. Gayon din ang kanilang mga frontline health workers. Gagamitin daw sa testing ay ang Gen Amplify test kits na locally manufactured ng Manila Health Tech at dinevelop noon ng UP-NIH. Ayon sa alkalde, nakita naman daw ng mga kinaukulan na pareho ang resultang nakukuha ng Gen Amplify test kits kumpara doon nga sa Sansure test kits mula China na ginagamit din ng RITM na siya namang pinagamit sa kanila sa huli nilang proficiency testing. Paliwanag ni Teodoro, mahalagang locally manufactured test kits ang kanilang magamit dahil mas mura ito. Lalo't kakailanganin nila ng maraming test kits para sa planong pagsasailalim rin ng marami pang individual sa testing base sa kanilang gagawing random sampling sa kanilang populasyon. 400 tests ang kayang iproseso ng kanilang laboratorio kada araw. May lalabas ang resulta sa loob ng isang araw. Napakahalaga daw ng testing na ito para makita ang totoong datos ng COVID-19 cases sa lungsod para sa naayong pagtugon ng lokal na pamahalaan. Bok, matatanda ang higit isang buwan ng inabot ng accreditation ng Marikina mula sa nauna nilang binuong laboratorio sa 6th floor ng kanilang City Health Office hanggang sa pagpalya nga nila dito sa nakaraan nilang proficiency testing bago ang natanggap na accreditation kahapon. At Bok, kasunod naman nung natanggap nga nilang accreditation for COVID-19 testing kahapon ay isinasapinal na ngayon ng Marikina yung ilan pang mga bagay alinsunod doon sa Memorandum of Agreement nila sa pagitan ng Antipolo at San Mateo para sa pagtanggap naman ng specimen mula sa mga lugar na ito na isa sa ilalim sa COVID-19 testing. Nauna rin kasing ipinaliwanag noon ni Mayor Teodoro na mahalaga yung kanilang partnership with San Mateo at Antipolo dahil meron silang commingling of residents dahil magkakatabi lamang itong mga lungsod at munisipalidad na ito. Bok?
Bok, yung actual accreditation itong testing facility ng Marikina took longer than we thought. Kasi if I remember correctly, last week pa natin inaakalang magbubukas ito matapos mag-training ng mga medical medtech personnel ng Marikina doon sa RITM. So what happened in those 2 weeks that we were waiting?
Yes, Bok, tama ka. No? After nga makapasa doon sa training ng mga personnel ng kanilang laboratorio, ay inakala natin na magiging mabilis yung accreditation nila. Dahil kasunod kasi nung pagpasa nila sa training ay yung pagsasubmit naman ng positive sample sa RITM. Nung nakaraan, sinabi ni Mayor Teodoro na nakapag-submit naman sila agad ng sample sa RITM. Yun nga lang, ayon sa DOH, doon sa sinubmit nilang positive sample sa RITM, may nakitang amplification. Ito ay isang ito ay isang medyo technical na problema pagdating doon sa resulta. Kasi ayon kay nung nakausap natin si Health Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergere, ito amplification ay nakikita sa graph analysis ng result. Halimbawa doon sa PCR setup. Sa PCR setup kasi may tinatawag na positive control at negative control. Dapat yung amplification o yung pagpapadami ng certain strand na hinahanap ay mangyayari doon sa positive control. Ngunit dito sa nakaraang proficiency test ay nagkaroon daw ng amplification sa negative control. Pero dahil nga na-accredit na sila ngayon ay sinasabi nga maayos na o pareho na sa resultang hinahanap ng RITM yung sinubmit ng Marikina Molecular Diagnostic Laboratory. Bok?
Bali yung negative control, yung dapat walang trace ng virus strands, nagkaroon pa pala ng trace ng virus strands. So mukhang na-resolve na yung issue yun. Sige, maraming salamat, Greg Gregorio. United Nations Secretary-General Antonio Guterres laments what he calls a lack of leadership by world powers and a divided international community in the fight against COVID-19. Guterres made the remark after U.S. President Donald Trump accused Beijing of mishandling the pandemic to make him lose his re-election bid in November. He says unity among international leaders is more important now than ever. The UN chief adds that the U.S. and China are vital countries in fighting the pandemic.
It is obvious that there is a lack of leadership. It is obvious the international community is divided in a moment where it would be more important than ever to be united. There is indeed a problem of leadership, or if you want, a disconnect between leadership and power. We see remarkable examples of leadership, but they are usually not associated with power. And where we see power, we sometimes do not see the necessary leadership. I hope this will be overcome sooner rather than later.
Self-driving cars are making their way to the streets of California in the U.S. as they venture in the delivery scene amid the COVID-19 pandemic. General Motors Company's self-driving unit Cruise delivers to senior citizens in need in San Francisco. Two safety backup drivers joined the trips, wearing masks and gloves to drop off the food at doorsteps. Meanwhile, self-driving cars by Toyota-backed Pony.ai are delivering groceries in Irvine, while Nuro is putting their latest R2 vehicles to deliver medical supplies to health facilities in Sacramento and San Mateo County. None of these companies are making any money from their deliveries, but are gaining experience and data on delivery operations. And that's the latest on the enhanced and expanded community quarantine. For more updates, follow News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. I'm Ed Lingao. We are One News.
Salamat at tayo'y magkasamang muli. Salamat.